Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Thrive and Peak. This is Thane or Duke. I go by either or. How is everybody doing? Let's get started with today's video. Have you ever noticed many people are always trying to sort the world into two categories? Good people or bad people? Heroes and villains? But the older I get, the more I realize something uncomfortable. Potentially. Most people don't actually live in black and white. Most of us live in the gray area, right? And funny enough, the gray area has been my favorite color since I was a kid. So today I want to talk about something I've been thinking for almost 20 years. And that's actually good people. Are there actually good people and bad people? Or are we just people, right? So let me start back to why my favorite color is gray, right? One of the most common things about me growing up since I was a preteen was my favorite color being a gray. Not black, not white, but gray. And the reason I love gray is because it balances between the two. It represents the world, in my opinion. Black and white are the extremes, but gray is kind of like the middle. And I didn't realize at the time, but that idea, that balance, it kind of stuck with me my entire life. When I was a kid, my dad showed me a movie called The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville. Now, if you've seen it, the premise is pretty wild. But if you've never seen it, the premise is pretty wild. He pretends to compete in the Special Olympics because he's trying to get money to help someone in his family. So on paper, he's doing something clearly wrong. But the reason why he's doing it is not malicious, okay? He's trying to help someone. And there's a moment in the movie where he reflects with someone he met at the facility, and he says something like, "Do you think that there's good and bad people, or do you think that sometimes good people have to do bad things and vice versa?" And when I heard that as a kid, it kind of, for the time being, temporarily broke my brain a little bit. I was like, "Wow, okay," because before I was like, grew up on superheroes and Power Rangers and Marvel and DC, like those type of. I did love the anti-hero aspect of things, like Deadpool. I don't think Spider-Man would be considered an anti-hero, but he always had um, challenging moments in his storyline to where he'd always have to walk that moral line, and Peter Parker just always happened to stick on the right side of things. I mean, there's a few occasions, a few variations, but I say all that to say that I wasn't thinking like um, anti-heroes or anything like that. I was more so black and white, good or bad, right? Because when you start to think about it, you realize something potentially uncomfortable. It depends on where you are in your life. But every single one of us has probably been the villain in someone else's story. That's what I came to that conclusion. Um, I came to that conclusion that it's relatively almost impossible because it's just life. Maybe you hurt someone. Maybe you disappointed someone. Maybe you made a decision that helped one person but hurt another. And it doesn't automatically make you a bad person. It just makes you human. Think about stories that we love. Sometimes we root for the villain, right? Scarface, the anti heroes I brought up. The characters that do terrible things, but we have to understand them because why? Because we see part of ourselves in them. And my perspective changed a little bit, right? One thing that life teaches you pretty quickly is the perspective changes everything. Let me give you an example. Imagine you had the choice to save 10 people that you love or 100 people that you've never met. Logically, you might say things like 100 is the right answer because 100 people that you don't know die every day, right? But emotionally, most people would choose the 10 people that they love. But does that make you a bad person? Or does that just make you human for caring about, to trying to protect those that you care about, no? The older I get, the more I realize something. I don't think there are good or bad people. I believe that we're just people. People are trying their best. People make their mistakes. People learning as they go. I know for a fact I've left positive marks in people's lives, but also I know I've left negative ones too. And that's not something I say with pride, but it's something I say with humility and a sense of relatability. Because being aware of that, it's what allows me to grow. When I was younger, I used to feel embarrassed about the mistakes I made. I sometimes still can. But now I don't necessarily hide from them. I learn from them. I accept them that I'm human, and if my intention was never to hurt anyone, I can sleep peacefully knowing that I tried to be a good person. That's all of us can really do. Honestly. And if you're here learning about it on your own time, you're already ahead of most. You're doing your part. You're doing more than you did before. And in a way, you kind of already started heading in that right direction, what feels right for your soul, you know? What feels right for you. So maybe life isn't black and white. Maybe it's not good people or bad people. Maybe most of us are just living somewhere in the gray area, doing our best, learning as we go, and hopefully becoming a little better along the way. I'm curious about what you guys think though. Do you believe they're good or bad people? Or do you think we're all just people trying to figure life out? Let me know in the comments. And as always, this is Thrive and Peak. I appreciate you guys hearing me out. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.